Another Biden press conference where Joe blows off a question about Hunter. Here he is dismissing Peter Doocy and doubling down on his stance that the story about Hunter's shady business dealings is just Russian disinformation.
Mr. President-elect, do you still think that the stories from the fall about your son Hunter were Russian disinformation at his smear campaign, like you said?
Yes, yes, yes. God love you, man. You're a one-horse pony. I tell you, thank you. Thank you. I promise you, my Justice Department will be totally on its own, making its judgments about how they should proceed.
And new reporting from the Wall Street Journal finds that Hunter continues to have investments in Chinese companies. Yeah, he's got a 10% equity stake in a Chinese investment firm. All right, Greg, what did he call him again? A dog-faced pony soldier?
A one-horse pony, which I looked up on Urban Dictionary, and it's filthy. I had no idea what it was, but it's a perverted act. Anyway, I look forward to the media coming to Doocy's defense and writing articles, perhaps even books about the threat that Biden poses to our precious journalists. But Joe actually, at some point, is going to need to show that he takes charges of nepotism and feathering one's bed seriously, because it's not going to be about Hunter for very long. It's about getting Hunter in a position to reap a massive golden parachute for his dad. And that's the point of the nepotism. It was Hunter had to get into a position where he could get the money to get a nice golden parachute for Joe. So that's where it's going to end up. And it's not going to be a pretty picture, I can tell you that, you one-horse pony.
You know, you're absolutely right about the golden parachute. That was the idea all along. Dana, you know, Hunter continues to really drag Joe down. And I mean, it's still in the transition.
You know, during the last 4 years, Joe Biden would often say, you know, come on, man, you got to take responsibility, own up, and just be transparent and move on. This, always referring back to Russian disinformation, really is outrageous. Mark Thiessen had a very good point today that at the debate in Cleveland, when Joe Biden was asked about this by President Trump, or even Chris Wallace, whenever the issue came up, Joe Biden was able to say 50 national security intelligence professionals just wrote a letter saying that this has all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. So he blew it off and he didn't have to deal with it then. But now that he knows that the Justice Department and the FBI have actually investigated, to then say that the Justice Department is basing all of this on Russian disinformation really gets you off on the wrong foot when it comes to the Justice Department officials, I would imagine. So, one-horse pony also, I'm just trying to figure out how that would work on the ranch.
Monogamy. He's a one-horse pony.
Geraldo, to Dana's point, even the media doesn't even say that this is Russia disinformation anymore. They dropped that whole charade. So don't you think they'd be writing stories right now about how Joe Biden is continuing to call this Russia disinformation when it's not?
First of all, it's one-trick pony. There's no such saying as one-horse pony. I mean, I don't know what the hell, where that came from. It's one-trick pony. And I just want to, unless Greg's right, and it is an obscenity. But to all those people, remember, who cheered on Jim Acosta and the other reporters who were relentless and grilling Donald Trump every time you saw the president there, Mr. President, what about Russia? What about now they're going to have to get used to Peter Doocy being a fixture at these press conferences. This is a huge story. It is like Russia in the sense that this administration is starting on this enormous cloud. And Greg is right, because this is malignant. You never know where it's going to go or how big it's going to be or how deep it goes into the Biden family. So, you know, stand by.
Katie, Peter Doocy making quite a name for himself, yet he's the only one to shout out a question. It seems like he's the only one that cares.
Well, first of all, I don't think we should insult Peter Doocy by comparing him to Jim Acosta. He's a much better journalist and much more professional than Jim Acosta is. Second of all, you know, we found out about the official U.S. attorney investigation into Hunter Biden from Hunter Biden. So how is Hunter Biden spreading Russian misinformation by his PR team, telling all the media people that there's this big, real FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office investigation? And in terms of going off what Dana just said about the Justice Department now being accused of spreading disinformation, well, maybe under an Obama Justice Department when, Peter Strzok was working there, but that's not how it works anymore. It's been cleaned up for some of these parts. So this idea that you can say that Hunter Biden's investigation is disinformation when Hunter Biden's team and himself have said it's a real investigation, which we really knew about if you looked at what was on his laptop, it just doesn't make any sense.
All right, Katie Pavlich, not a one-trick pony. Not at all.
No, many tricks.
Escape from New York.